Well, this is August 13th of 2014. We have 38 days until the 100th anniversary celebration for the Todd engine on September 20th. And this little video here is just to show the progress of the restoration of the engine. We started working on the high pressure side here first, and we're pretty far along on it. Most of the front here has already been repainted. All these parts have been taken off and cleaned up, needle scaled, and wire wheeled, repainted, and put back on. Shop right down the street, Quality Metal Works, literally across the street from us, new sheet metal shop that opened up. They're doing the 14 gauge jacketing for the cylinders, and so they should have that done any time now. And as we walk back here, the what they call the front rockers, we installed these last week, including new nylon bearings to replace the original brass bearings, which we can't afford to have brass ones made right now, so these will do. I still have a few more parts to put on the high pressure side, but this side's pretty far along here, and you can see this gray color. That's the finished color, one of the colors. It's going to be dark gray and light gray. This here on the nameplate, this is the light gray that we're using. The other grays that you see are just a primer color. And we've had this all stripped down, and we've done some Bondo work, and we put the next coat of primer on after the first set of Bondo we put on there. And there's a few areas there we're going to go over again to smooth this out, because once we get the finish coat on, it's going to be rather shiny, and we don't want, it'll be some of the imperfections you'll see, but we don't want the glaring ones on there. This cover is done in the dark gray. We had to choose between just painting it or stripping it down and then repainting it properly. So we just put a primer and then the top coat on, didn't strip the old paint off, because at some point we'll be taking this off, take it outside, clean it properly, do some repair work and a few modifications, and then repaint it and bring it back in. So that'll work for now. Also putting a coat of black paint on the end of the crankshaft. We got a little more cleaning to do on the coupling, then we'll give that its paint. Haven't even touched the flywheel yet. The other side needs some work. We'll see how much time we have to get that all done. We're probably not going to do anything with the governor wheel either. Just don't have time for that. The low pressure side's getting a lot of work. We're in the middle of needle scaling and removing of the paint on this side. We have some of the cordless parts off, cleaning all those up, and then we'll take everything off here, put the new 14 gauge jacketing on, then put all these parts back on. All the brass will be polished, everything will be painted real nice, so this will look a lot different than the drab green that's been on this thing for quite a while. And you can see we've got some of the oilers on there. That's a Lunkenheimer Sentinel number 6. I think it's the biggest one they make, which is what was spec'd for this engine. We're lucky that we have practically a complete set of engineering drawings for this engine. And so I've made copies of them, and we have all that here. And as we go through, main bearings here, and that's exhaust lines. But what we also have in here are the drawings for the lubricators, and so we know exactly what they spec'd, and even on down to how many 3/8 inch elbows and T's and fittings of different types were used. So we have the complete set of bill of materials, and so that we can put these, like for instance this here is a Richardson Phoenix sight feed oiler. These are original, and you know how this was plumbed in, that's all in the drawings, so we can go as close to original as possible. We were missing a few of these things. They're very hard to come by. Of course you can make them, rather tedious to do, but the Blooming Mill engine down at Weirton had all of those parts on there, and so a few years ago we basically paid ArcelorMittal $1,000 to go in there and just strip whatever off the engine that we thought we could use for this one. So we did, so I have extra parts, which is good. So we'll walk around this side. We just got the tail rod support for low pressure side done recently. We've got to put the tail rod cover back on. We'll probably get that next week. And you can see the cylinder without the jacketing, of course, and that'll all get put on here pretty soon. And working our way back this way. Now here's something what I'm doing today is using the cutting torch to burn the paint off, and it actually works rather well. You just you know, get the torch going, and you put the flame up against, and you pull the trigger a little bit, and that oxygen comes out and just burns that paint right off. So we're going along quite well. Actually, this works just as well as the needle scaling. It's a little bit faster. So we don't even need to needle scale this after we do the flame work. We just hit it with the wire wheel and knocks all that ash off. And on this side here, you know, again, we're just going to paint this cover. This one definitely needs to come off and go to a shop and have that damage up there repaired. That damage was done after the engine was shut down, and I believe when they were removing the drive shafts from the mill after the plant had shut down, that's when that happened. So that's not original. It's not something that, you know, contributes to the character of the engine. It was some damage that happened after it shut down, so it's going away, and it's gonna look like the other side. And we haven't even touched in the back corner here. As you can see, we still have ladders and all that sitting here. But we definitely will be done by September 20th. And you know, if there's a time that you want to come out and see the Todd engine, on the 20th is the time to do it, because this will be done, it'll be repainted, everything will look beautiful on it. It will look as it's going to look when the restoration is completed. After the 20th, we start taking all the fittings back off and start working on the foundation. So it's not going to look that good for another year or so until the foundation's done, and then we're ready to have the grand, you know, restarting of the engine, if you will. So you know, definitely try to make it out here on the 20th if you can. And you're gonna see a lot of brass work here. I mean, a lot of this stuff has been covered over with grease and grime and paint for years. So you know, there's quite a bit of brass on this engine that you'll see, and a lot of bright metal as well. So it's going to be a really beautiful looking engine when it's done.